Hello there, Riderflex Nation. Steve Urban here with more career advice and job interviewing tips for you. And as a quick reminder, if you enjoy our podcast, please remember to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes. In today's conversation, Glassdoor reviews. Those Glassdoor reviews, that average score that company has. I get asked about this a lot, actually, from candidates. And in fact, we've had candidates apply for jobs and pass on them because they thought the score of the company was too low on Glassdoor. So it's becoming more of a topic. I thought it'd be an interesting podcast for today. So I want to share my thoughts with you on the topic. So when you get pinged by a recruiter, right? You're interviewing for the job and you're doing homework on the company, and you notice on Glassdoor that maybe they have like a 3.2 or a 3.3 or maybe even below a 3 average on Glassdoor. And you're immediately concerned, and then you read some of the reviews and you get a little nervous and you think, oh gosh, man, do I want to work there? I would suggest you do 3 things before you rush to judgment. Okay. Number 1, write down 4 or 5 of your favorite companies or your favorite restaurants or your favorite stores, and just check the scores on Glassdoor. Just do that and then compare to the company you're interviewing with and see. I think you'll be surprised. It's hard to keep scores super high on Glassdoor because companies have to make tough decisions, right? I mean, CEOs and supervisors, they have to make personnel changes. Sometimes they have to make policy and process changes. People don't like them for whatever reason, but it has to be done for the health of the company or to keep the company alive for cash flow, et cetera. And when tough decisions are made, often employees are pissed off and they exit the building and they leave bad Glassdoor reviews. So it's tough to keep a perfect score. For those of you that have ran companies or been CEOs and you're listening to this podcast, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You got to make tough decisions sometimes, and I was going to say it's very hard. It's actually impossible to keep everybody happy all the time. And so you understand what I'm talking about. For those of you that haven't sat in the captain's chair, I would just encourage you to think about that a little bit. Running a business and keeping it healthy is super hard, and there's tough decisions that have to be made. So keep that in mind. A couple of other things I would do: check the timeline of the reviews. Are the reviews all recently bad? Have they been bad over the last 12 months? Maybe the company's average is low because of some bad things that happened 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe they had a bad CEO. Maybe the company went through a downturn. A lot of people exited the building. They gave a negative review on Glassdoor. But maybe now things are better, but the average is just not up yet. So check that. And then finally, I would look for consistency, right? If you see a consistent pattern on a scary topic like, let's say, discrimination or something, and it's just very consistent, people are often complaining about it, then yeah, that's a red flag, okay? And you should be very concerned. So those 3 things: check the timeline, okay? Look for patterns, and whether or not they're super consistent, and also check the scores of your other favorite companies and just make sure that you're comparing, because it's very, very difficult to have a super high score all the time. Finally, to answer the question, would I pass on a job opportunity from a company with a mediocre Glassdoor review? I think that's a gray answer. I think you do all the things I suggested there. Do some homework on it, and then you just make a judgment call at the end of the day and see if it feels right with the person you're interviewing with and the people you met in the office, and then you make a call. All right? And there is your Riderflex tip of the day. We truly hope you find our material helpful and entertaining. And while our podcast can be heard across most platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud, you can become a supporter of this podcast by visiting our show on the platform Anchor FM. That's anchor.fm/Riderflex. You can also send us your questions or suggested topics for future episodes to the email address podcast@riderflex.com, or drop us a voicemail at 888-964-5876, extension 710. Visit riderflex.com to learn more about us. Thanks so much for listening, folks, and have a great day.